Next category is one of our all highly regarded awards, but this is one of the higher regarded awards. This is an actual induction into the Hall of Fame. And this next category is going to be our Living Thumbpicker Category. And this category has gone to some great players over the past years since the Hall of Fame started. You can go next door to the Hall of Fame house and see a lot of these people who have been inducted. Everyone from Chet Atkins to Jerry Reed, you know, the list goes on and on. Paul Yandel, Scotty Moore, Steve Warner, Brent Mason, Tom Bresch, Eddie Pennington, Paul Mosley, you know, just numerous names. This is a very honorable award to receive, and I would like to call out to help me with this presentation a good friend of mine, the first person who I ever heard do this style live, Mr. Royce Morgan. If he's back there listening, and I do, come on out, Uncle. This is my Uncle Heavy. He taught me how to set fence posts before he taught me how to play guitar. But he and the guys like Steve Rector and Paul and Eddie have been very good to me in this. And I'm going to let Royce talk a little bit about our recipient coming up, and then we'll go from there. The platform is yours, sir.
Thank you, Joe. This recipient, as Joe calls him, that's a good word, Joe, is a dear friend of mine. He's not only a great guitar player, he's a wonderful witness for the Lord, which I appreciate very, very much. He called me about 5 years ago. Thea and I, my wife, have been fortunate enough to live in Florida about 6 months out of the year for the past 30 years. And I play down there a lot. And this fellow called me and he says, I'm looking for a rhythm player. And I said, who are you? And he told me his name, and he said, well, I've heard of you. And he said, well, I've heard of you too. But he said, you can play rhythm. I said, I can't play rhythm. He said, well, I'll give you X number of dollars to come over and just sit in with us tonight, and we'll see if we like you. And he had a great band, Charlie McCoy, Jason Coleman, everybody knows Jason, Floyd Kramer's grandson. And he picked up 2 guys, a drummer and a bass man in Florida, and myself. And we have worked the last 5 years together. Richard, you're amazing. Richard, you're just a great player and is such a dear friend. I love you. Esther, we love you all. We're so glad to have you all in Muhlenberg County. And we're going to give you this with all our love. And thank you. Come on up. Joe will give it to you. Richard Kiser, our dear friend.
Thank you, Royce. Wonderful job. You will be seeing Royce a little more this weekend too. And you'll have to come to the Home of Legends Thumbpicking Championship tomorrow to see how. And that's all I will say. I am very pleased to present this to you, Richard Kiser. Your induction into the National Thumbpickers Hall of Fame in 2017 in our Living Thumbpicker category.
Well, I am beyond humbled to receive this. I'll just do some quick thank yous. I first thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because He's the source of my music. And thank my wife of 51 years, Esther, because she's the inspiration behind my music. And I thank all the guys here that have accepted me as just one of their friends. It's an honor. I work with a lot of people in gospel music, but the folks that's on this stage, in my opinion, and the guys that come to the Chet Convention are the greatest musicians in the world. And I'm honored to be a part of them. Thank you so much.